Alright, let's get into it. Alright. Okay. So, game one. I don't even know where to start as a Knights fan. I actually went to the game with the girlfriend. I dropped $500 on tickets. You know, right after they won Game 7. Was on one of the highest of highs. And after yesterday, it's kind of one of the lowest of lows. Pretty shitty feeling overall. But let's just get into it and kind of exactly what happened. All the controversy that's going on right now with Ryan Reeves and Ryan Graves. So game one, Vegas. We're riding in on the highest of highs after that Game 7 win. It was legendary in literally every sense of the word. And Colorado has been off this entire time. In my previous video, mentioned the stat where the team that went to Game 7 plays a team in the next round that swept. Well, it hasn't boded well for the team that swept their series, right? And so, get to this Game 1, and Leonard's in net. And after the end of this, the end result here, I don't really think it mattered who was in net. Colorado was just a better team. They dominated. It was honestly a pretty pathetic showing. I'm not going to get into the argument of tired, whatever. You know, Vegas just came off of a war with the Minnesota Wild. I think they did need an extra day or two just to give them something after a Game 7. But, you know, the NHL has its deadlines. The Olympics, they pushed back to this year. So there's really nothing they can do about that, you know. And that's not an excuse, right? Like, you've been playing hockey. You've been doing this your whole life. I know the body's tired, but that's kind of just what everybody's going through, you know. And so, Game 1, I was actually at the game. Went with the girlfriend. And I was pretty disappointed. I mean, it's a playoff game, and some Avs fans were pretty rude. Call us the vegans, which, yeah, whatever. Like, it's... Sometimes you just take shit too far, you know? I had some guy in the line just being an asshole asked me, like, if Vegas was an expansion team, pretty much acting like I didn't know hockey or anything, and it's just fucking rude, dude. Like, I get it, sports and everything, but there's like a fine line between having fun and then pulling shit like that. It just really left a very sour taste in my mouth. And to that dude, fuck you, him. Anyways. So Game 1, dropped $500 on these tickets, and luckily, you know, guess the girlfriend got cotton candy out of it, but yeah, right from the get-go, the Knights just, dude, you could just tell they didn't have anything. They just did not have it. Or it was a combination of that, and Colorado was just on fire. Everything they did, it felt like all their passes connected. They were just faster. And Robin Leonard, I don't want to blame it on not playing at all, but he was absolutely terrible. I'm not going to blame that loss on him. Although, maybe if he stops that first goal, which is just a backhand that gets stopped probably 9 out of 10 times from Rantanen, maybe the game's a little bit different. You know, maybe Vegas finds their legs. It's only 1-0 after the first. Who knows? But that's not how this game played out. And so, yeah, they got owned. Colorado, I mean, kind of embarrassed the defense. On the second goal, it was, somebody lost Landeskog, and it was, you know, wide open. Yeah, there's really not much you can say about it. It really sucks as a Knights fan. You know, it's just dreadful to see your team get spanked like that. But let's get into the controversy and Ryan Reeves. First off, I saw this hit live. So you see Graves running in, and he hits his shoulder straight to the face of Janmark. And his head bounces back, hits the glass on the ice. And they only called a 2-minute interference, which is absolute bullshit. Colorado, this is the second player now. Already have Kadri serving an 8-gamer, and then now this that only gets a 2 minutes. It was a tad late as well, but the primary point of contact is the head, and I thought that, you know, that's an automatic suspension. I don't even think I've heard of a suspension for Graves yet. But what a total bitch move, honestly, to not even drop the gloves after that. Like, there's kind of a code in this game. I'm pretty sure he's well aware of that. that if you do some shit like that, that's dirty, and that was 100% dirty. How they only called a 2-minute interference is beyond me. That's pathetic. The refs, if they had just done their job and called it what it was, that should have been a major for a hit to the head. And there's no doubt, like, I don't care what anybody says, that was a hit to the head. And so they only called that. So what are you leaving the Knights to do? Well, they're not going to back down. Somebody's going to take it into their own hands. And sure enough, we ended up leaving after that second period. It was, it was 5-1, 6-1, I think. Yeah, it was 6-1 after that. It was just toxic. And then you see the Ryan Reeves thing online. I love Revo. I do. I think he's a good dude. I think that he does a lot for the team. But he did take this too far. And there's no doubt about that. Can't be doing that. But if Graves had just... the refs had just called the penalty as it was, then that didn't need to happen. If Ryan Graves had just dropped the gloves, and that was more than drop the gloves worthy. Look at Corey Perry in Montreal, dude. Completely unintentional knee straight to John Tavares. He's horrible injuries, out. And everybody knew that was not intentional, but he drops the gloves like a fucking man. Graves, on the other hand, does the biggest bitch move I've ever seen. Like, how are you going to go head hunting like that and not defend, not stick up for yourself? It's pathetic. It's really frustrating that even had to get to that situation because he's too much of a pussy to drop the gloves. Apologize for the language. I am really upset about this, though. Like, this is the second Colorado player that should be suspended for head hunting. I don't care what anybody says. That was intentional, and that was straight to the head. And I thought, we're trying to get rid of that shit. Who knows what Matthias Janmark, how long he's going to be out, but I guarantee you he's going to have a concussion. And I can't fully blame Ryan Reeves. It's totally understandable. Dude wouldn't drop the gloves. You're very frustrated at the score. You're very frustrated that one of your players has already been knocked out. It's not an excuse for what he did, but I at least understand it. And I hope the NHL steps in and gives Graves the proper suspension, gives Reeves the proper suspension. Hope the refs I hope those refs don't get to officiate another playoff this year. I think new refs should be brought in. And I hope the NHL, like, if you see some shit, call it. Quit pussyfooting around. This is ridiculous. Yeah. It was a shitty game, shitty experience. Hopefully the Knights can bounce back in game 2. But it's just sad that it even got to that point. Don't go headhunting. They just seem like headhunters to me now. That's Kadri, which was the most egregious. Oh, how he only got 8 games. That's pathetic too. And then Graves over here, like, what a fucking pussy. Pretty frustrating, but hopefully they bounce back and this lights a fire under their ass, getting embarrassed like that in a playoff game. The Sharks, Vegas did it to the Sharks game 1, round 2 in 2018, and the Sharks bounced back. I mean, didn't win the series, but they, So we'll see what happens. I hope the NHL does the right thing. I don't care if Revo gets suspended. I think he should. But I think Graves, like, you are the ultimate bitch in the NHL now. Like, be a man, drop the gloves if you're going to go and do pussy shit like that and run at players. And don't give me that shit about Pacioretty on Girard. That, again, if after that play on Janmark, I'm sorry, but if I'm a Vegas player, I'm thinking that Colorado's hunting for the heads. I think Colorado is going after me. They look like they're intent to injuring people. So if I'm Pacioretty, I'm going to defend myself. I don't care how small Girard is or how tall Patches is, dude. I don't think Pacioretty did anything. I mean, he's just trying to defend himself, And when you're playing a team that's now getting notorious, getting a reputation for going after heads, how can you blame him? So hope the right thing gets made, and I hope we never see this kind of thing again. How he didn't drop the gloves, I'm sorry. I have zero respect for Graves. And that is just pathetic, how you're going to do something like that and not answer the bell. Pretty frustrated. Wish I could get my money back, but is what it is. Luckily, it's only one game, right? So, Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'd love to hear your opinion on it, whether you agree or disagree with me. I'm all for a debate, but as a Knights fan, you can understand I'm pretty frustrated. It's just ridiculous that even got to that point. So, I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys. Y'all take care, okay?